Hey guys, so I'm gonna go over really quick what I need you guys to fix and not do again for paper 3. And I try to address a lot of these things in your comments on the discussion board, but I just want to repeat some things on video for anybody who might feel like they want some kind of further explanation as to why they got certain grades. Number one, you are now sending me a Word document of your papers. So some people, I spent the actual time of like editing and making edits on the actual paper and sending it back to you. Others I just made comments, but I can see your spell check errors, aka when you type a document on Word and then you don't use spell check, and then I still see like the squiggly lines, and it's like, if I see it, why don't you see it? Why aren't you spelling checking and fixing it? So just do that, because now I can see on my end that you just carelessly submitted a paper with multiple spell check squigglies. Review how to do the APA style of the book. I showed you guys how to do this on a previous PowerPoint, and I was lenient on this one. I mean, the first one I was more lenient with everything because it's the first paper. Then this one, it was like so much crap is going on and no things are going on that people just probably did just submit things really quick last minute. I get it, but the next two papers I'm not gonna be as lenient. I mean, I like to give out good grades for a certain quality work, so that's just how I am. Use Cohen for your research. You're not going to get away with just putting, and if I see it again for paper 3, I'm going to just completely say outside sources are not allowed for paper 4. You can't pick a topic from Cohen and then just pick up a topic that's in Cohen and then not read it and Google search it, and then your whole paper is outside sources, and then you cite Cohen because you just got the idea from Cohen, but you didn't use any of his research. There were so many people that wrote about things that were literally defined by Cohen in the chapter, but then use like a no definition that was from another website. But it's like, why are you using other? You'll see in my example from paper 3, I could write a 20-page paper using this book. There's no reason for you to use outside sources, but I let you guys because you want to add on, but there's really no reason to, especially to define something that's defined in the book. Or when you have Cohen in your reference sheet, but he's not cited at all within the sheet. But then when you have other resources in your reference sheet, but they're not cited. So it's like, it has to match. If you're going to cite somebody in your paper, they have to be in your reference sheet, and if you're going to put someone in your reference sheet, you have to see where you use their information in your paper. I check that stuff. I'm sorry. So if you're going to use outside sources, okay, it's good to use that for supplemental research, but the gist of your paper and your facts should be coming from the assigned material of this class, which is the textbook. I literally put central find and type in the word Cohen to see how often you're citing him. That's just it. So do that. Use the book. There's no reason why you should be defining immigration with something that's not in the book. All right. So I commented a lot of people who were saying things like 2 policies that I chose from chapter 2, or I believe this, I believe that. Before you submit your paper, Central F the word I, and if it's in there, change it and take it out and try to find a way to rewrite what you just wrote without writing it in some kind of personal narrative. Number 1. 2, central find Cohen. If you didn't cite him enough, relook and see how try to either use him more, or you're not citing enough. Let me see. What else? Oh, another thing that I see a lot of people doing is like these general things of like, throughout the history of mankind, families have always been important. Throughout the history of the United States of America, several policies have been implemented. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, it's true. Throughout the history of mankind, family has meant a lot. But these kind of repetitive, weird, one-off lines are just like not needless. It's a 2-page paper. Just get to what it is that I want you to write about. I just see these as like space fillers that you're just giving me like a random line to fill up space, and I could tell when that's happening. So it's so general that it's just not necessary for such a short paper that's just like get to the point. What else was it? So a lot of people are just like capitalizing random words that don't need to be capitalizing, spelling things wrong, spelling America wrong, not capitalizing the first word of the sentence. Honestly, these are just things that annoy me because I spend so much time prepping for class and doing so many things for you, and it's just like you're really submitting a paper to me right now with all these small, tiny errors. Just proofread your work. There's no reason for those small errors to be submitted. Use the spell check, use the grammar check. Have somebody else read the paper back to you if you really feel like if you have a hard time writing. I know the writing center is closed, but we shouldn't really be submitting papers with such small misspellings and so many errors like that. It's just not. And maybe I have high standards because the last time I graduated from college, it was grad school, but I want to bounce that stuff off you guys, right? So just do that. So again, just instead of repeating in the second chapter the author or Cohen this, and in the textbook that it's good to just, and I hope that in my example in the PowerPoint for assignment 3 helps you guys, is to just state the fact that you're trying to say and then just citing it. Just constantly repeating that you got this from a book is not necessary. And saying something like I picked this, not necessary either. And just more specifically with chapter 2, with assignment 2, what I wanted you guys to do was focus on something that was implemented by the American government. And some people just wrote about some a type of family which wasn't let's say patriarchy is enforced by the government indirectly because men rule America, but what specifically led to that, right? What law, what policy? It was right. I didn't want you to find a random definition and then use it as a quick way to just finish the paper up and just be like, this is something that's affected the family. Yeah, but the specific topic of this paper was the American government, and then also to write about the arenas. And the answer to that question was in the question, which I just wanted to hear you reword it in the terms of arenas. The question was, how's the American government affected families? And the answer to that was just basically, this is how the state arena interacts with the family arena. That's it. The answer was in the question. It was a simple thing. Some people went really in depth and did such good jobs with it. I was so impressed. And others, I don't know if you just overskipped it or misunderstood it, but I hope that you get the idea of the institutional arenas enough for paper 3, because you're writing about the family as an institution in the next 2 papers. So just hope it that. Let me see, because I just write these notes so fast while I'm grading papers. Don't capitalize the arenas. They're not something that you capitalize. You don't capitalize market, state, and family. You don't capitalize mother and father. You capitalize America. These are words I'm writing down as and I think that's it. Just make sure you cite when you. A lot of people weren't citing everything, and I know sometimes it might seem like the citations are too much, but when in doubt, just cite. You have to cite anything that comes from not your general knowledge, right? So I don't have to cite like on September 11, 2001, the Twin Towers were hit, right? I don't have to cite that because that's like general knowledge, you don't know. But something that's a little bit more specific that you have to like look up, and you assume that everybody knows, but anything you guess that's not your general knowledge fact, you have to cite it. That's like a date or an idea that didn't come from you. That's like, even if it's something like, well, families are poor families are more likely than these families to do this. Cite it. Where did you get that from? If you're not citing it, if it's something that you're just making up, that's when you think like, okay, well, can I really be saying this? So again, I hope my assignment 3 little example helps you guys from the PowerPoint. And I hope that a lot of when classmates reread each other, and also I know the last paper was a lot of stuff going on in life, so but I'm not like picking on you guys or anything. I do this all my classes. I just like to help you guys. For anybody who's grading, is like, I don't get what the hell she wants. Like, this is basically what I'm saying. And just, the APA style reference sheet has to be in ABC order. The reference of Cohen has to have the publisher and the place it was published in. I gave you the link as to where you can figure that out. So that's that. So just work to, whatever it is that I suggested for your last paper, work on getting it right the next time, and then you won't get those stupid little, point off, the contractions, spell it out. Do not, you are, she is, right? You don't put don't, aren't, your, right? You spell it out in APA style papers. I'm like playing with my lipstick. I'm trying to see what else. And that's it. And also, and you capitalize policies. A lot of people were capitalizing like WIC or like TAMF. And that's it. What I want to say too is that I get the idea that, and I get it, I really do. I was in college once. A lot of people are kind of jumping ahead and answering on discussion board posts, which I, do you, it's fine. But just know that if you're just, fast forwarding to the discussion board posts and then I know that, you're looking for the question, looking for the answer in the chapter, answering it quickly, but I can tell when you do that. And if you get lucky with a right answer, then okay. But when you get the wrong answer, number one, don't submit the answer and then look at everybody else's answers and then try to resubmit something else underneath. Like, I'm not knowing that's what you're doing. Number two, you have to also you have to read the videos, watch the videos. For one coming up, I know a lot of people for the Battle of the Sexes Googled the video and then wrote about the completely wrong video. And then for one of us, I don't know if anybody actually watched it. I hope that you guys did. But you have to watch the videos because I can tell when they're not being watched and you're just like writing it. So just do that at your own risk because I can tell. I know the shortcuts. So just letting you just do that at your own discretion, and that's it. So after this, we should be uploading our chapter 8 lecture, and then you have to have spring break for 2 weeks. You have 2 chapters to read, and that's it. Any questions? I'm here. Bye.